Hi, and welcome to Positive Not Negative. My name is Dave. Here at Positive Not Negative, we believe you have to have knowledge and understanding before you can make the correct choice, or what we like to call the positive choice. And that's something I wanted to talk about today. I just saw something recently regarding Jimmy Kimmel going out on the street, asking people about the Super Bowl and different questions in regards to the MVP, the halftime show, the Oompa Loompas that came on at the halftime show. I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. This was about a week before the Super Bowl even began. And people answered as if they were there and as if they saw it. They even talked about the most valuable player. And the game hadn't been played yet. And this is what I wanted to talk about. I have a great example of this. I had a gentleman come up to me, one of the patients at one of the facilities I work, and he came up and he asked me about the fiscal cliff and what had happened on the vote. And I explained to him, I said, well, what I heard is they basically postponed it for 2 months, and although they extended the Bush tax cuts for everybody but the top 2% of the wage earners, and they're going to re-vote on it, I guess, March 1st, or before March 1st. So a young lady brings up, that was standing over to the side, makes a comment about, yes, the Republicans wanted to raise taxes, but President Obama lowered them. And I just looked over at her and I thought, well, she's got that backwards, and actually he did raise taxes on the top 2%, and if we all look at our checks, you can see that taxes have gone up. I know more is being taken out of my check as a result of this administration. But I didn't say any of that to her. So I looked at her and I said, can I ask you a question? And she said, sure. I said, who's our vice president? She looked at me and she said, I don't know. I didn't pay attention this year. I don't know. I didn't really pay any attention to what was going on. And I said, okay. And I thought to myself, he's been the vice president for 4 years. We're going on our 5th year. He didn't pay attention this year. So I said, can I ask you another question? And she said, sure. And I said, did you vote? And she goes, oh yeah, I voted. And I said, oh, okay. And then I smiled. I was just kind of dumbfounded. She didn't know who the vice president is, but she hadn't voted. But she voted. I mean, she didn't know anything about what was going on. She had what happened with the fiscal cliff, the taxes, all that. Didn't seem to have a clue as to what's going on. So I said, oh, okay. And I said, well, she actually told me who she had voted for. And so I asked her, I said, okay, tell me why you voted for this person. And she said, because the other guy lied. I said, okay, that's fine, the other guy lied. But what is it that this person has done, or you expect this person to do? Why is it you wanted to vote for him? And she said, because the other guy lied all the time about everything. And I said, oh, okay. I mean, I was just dumbfounded. So I said, okay, don't tell me why you voted for him. Tell me one thing that the other guy lied about. She couldn't tell me. Now there's a little bit of a problem. Oh, I forgot to bring up, she didn't know who the other guy was either. I asked who the other guy was and she didn't know. But now I have a difficult situation. I have a person who's rather upset with me. I didn't call her any names. I was very polite. I was actually dumbfounded, like I was watching this Jimmy Kimmel man on the street thing, where he sends somebody out there to ask people these questions, and they answer them, and they have no clue, but they go ahead and answer them, and they're comfortable doing that. So now it's an uncomfortable situation whenever I run into this person. I still try to be very up and happy, but I think she realizes that I'm not going to call her any names, but that she just has no idea, no clue as to what's going on. So folks, this is what I'm talking about. I'm watching what's going on, and I try not to start the conversations, but people will bring things up, and I'll hear things like this all the time. I am dumbfounded. You know, if you asked me to judge the Olympic ice skating championships, I would say no. You know, I'm not qualified. You don't want me to do that. If you were to ask me to pick which heart surgeon to do the surgery on somebody's loved one or something, and there's 10 people there, 10 of us are there, and 9 people have an understanding, they know the doctors, they know all the information, and I know nothing. I would say, look, I'm not going to vote on this. I don't have a clue. Same thing. If you don't know who the vice president is, please don't vote. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I'm watching what's going on out there, and we don't really know what's going on. I don't know everything that's going on, but I try to know a little bit. I think I at least know the basics of what's going on. Now, if I were to say, I didn't tell you who this person voted for, but I looked at it this way. They voted for skin color. Now, I didn't say who, like I said, who she voted for, but she voted for skin color, in my opinion. And as you know, as they said at the elections, depending on who she voted for, it would be considered racist. So my question to everybody out there is, how do we have a discussion? How do we find a basic starting point when you can't have a discussion because people just say things that have nothing to do with reality or truth? That's the question. Please, folks, if you can help me out with this. We're going to have a lot of things coming, hopefully at least one a week, where we're going to be posing questions. We want to know here at Positive Not Negative. We try to sit down and discuss these things, and we want to learn. We want to evoke thought out there as well, but we want to learn. So if you can teach us, please do. And if we can hopefully teach any of you out there as well, that's what we want to do as well. So look for us. We're looking to get our webpage going and get it back up. We had it up, and then busyness of everything, we had to shut it down for a while. But we're going to get it back up, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of this. We'll have a lot of information on there, and let's see if we can get to some kind of understanding so we can at least talk and sensibly with some, logic, facts, knowledge. And remember, that's the best way to make a choice, having the knowledge and the understanding. All right, have a great day, and remember, always be positive, not negative.